Let's talk about some co-creative energies. So essentially, I mean double-digit angel numbers with repeating digits. So 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, and 99. Let's get into it. So how is this a co-creative energy? Because there are two digits. This is a two-digit sequence. The number of relational energies, interpersonal energies, right? More than one individual, okay? Relational, okay? So this is the power that relation has, that interpersonal has. The reason why we don't spend our entire lives in isolation for the most part, right? Unless that's your karmic path. But typically we have cycles of isolation. But you can't live that way forever unless it's ordained by God and so on and so forth. That is a whole karmic thing. But typically, when you want to truly create, when you want to truly manifest, you have to do it with others. So let's start with 11. 11 is the most basic of these numbers as far as co-creational energy. Anytime you're interacting with another, one being interacting with another being, one being mirroring another being. This is also the number of soulmate interaction, twin flame connections. That's more deeper rooted in 1111. But the reason being is because even if you are not in direct contact with these individuals, there is a similarity. There is a shared energy. There are shared patterns, right, between you and these other individuals, no matter where on the planet they are located. Okay, that is the concept here. That is why when you typically meet these people, you're in awe because of the ease, because of the familiarity. Okay, oftentimes stories will match up, timelines will match up, and there is a reason for that. Okay, but when we talk about 11, we're talking about the basic co-creative energy that begins or is initiated, right? Or formulated, culminated, right? Conjured anytime you're interacting with someone else. Next, we have 22. So 2 is the number of relational energy, the number of interpersonal energy. And it's twice. So that is a co-creative energy as it relates to relational energy. This is a potent number and energy as it relates to the realm of 2. It totals 4, which is the number of agreements, communication, insight, awareness, right? So to me, 22 can represent, let's say, a connection that is intended to help you gain greater awareness of self or others. Or to me, this is also the number that simply represents genuine connection, genuine friendship, genuine romantic partnership. So this is not the vow of marriage, that's 24. This is the connection behind marriage, that unity, okay? That's what 22 represents. Co-creative energy as it relates to interpersonal matters. Now let's get into 33. So 33 essentially is paired co-creative energy as it relates to the physical realm, manifestation, business partners, but also domestic partnership, right? So living with someone per se, a boyfriend and a girlfriend, not necessarily vowed partnership, right? But this is a co-creative energy because it also totals 6, the number of diurnal matters, day-to-day matters, right? This can include work, home, all of these things, personal life, right? So when you pair it with 3 twice, you're talking about a potent manifestation paired, because it also has 2 digits, by 2 individuals. All right, so next we're going to talk about 44. This is 4 twice, okay? So this can be a couple of things, right? The first one, most basic, would be an intellectual compatibility, right? But let's dive deeper. This is also a number I pair with ancestral warriors, breakers of generational curses, right? The gifts in a bloodline, okay? And this is also a connection, a co-creative energy that's often occurring between someone and their spirit team, okay? Because that awareness is cultivated between self and the higher realms. That is how we gain spiritual insight and awareness. It's not just us, right? We are being led by divine energies. And when we learn to pay attention to them, hence for awareness and insight, these energies can create. These energies, because it totals 8, 4 and 4 total 8, which is the realm of balance, justice, but also the realm of creation. Okay, so when we're really talking about honing into those mystical, spiritual energies, right? 44 is a great representation of that, right? This is what you're going to see when you're talking about someone who is intended to make change. It is beings like this whose energy is intended to not only change the awareness of themselves, but the awareness of every single person around them and who they come in contact with. All right, so when we talk about 55, we're talking about relationally karmic energy, karmically co-creative energy. So this is typically going to be an example of a karmic connection. It can be a negative karmic connection. It can be a positive karmic connection. Because of the fact that it totals 10, we're talking about a new spiritual experience or a new spiritual level. This is the level up number 10. Remember that. So this isn't like 52 where it's karmic connection totaling 7, which is the realm of darkness and issues. This is simply a karmic connection that is intended to help you elevate. Okay, so there is going to be difficulty. There is going to be discomfort. But if properly worked through and released certain energies, right? My darling, you will grow. My darling, you will fly. All right, let's get into 66. This is typically a representation of a lifelong connection of some sort because 6 is the number of diurnal matters, day-to-day matters, personal life, but also of longevity, okay? So when you see 66, this typically means this is a connection that is intended to last, and there is value here, okay? It also totals 12, so an often representation would be marriage again, right? Or best friendship, right? Or just closely related connections. Because we are also talking about a number that totals 12, the number of a being seeking partnership, a being seeking stability. So when we pair that, because we have 6 twice, we're talking about 2 individuals, a relational energy, right? A co-creative energy of individuals seeking that stability together because 12, 1 and 2 totals what? 3, the number of stability, physical manifestation, bringing things truly into fruition. All right, 77. When we talk about 77, this is transformative, but it can also be dark. It can be treacherous, right? It can be confusing, heartbreaking, but it can be freeing. If you are paying attention to the lessons that need to be learned in the realm of 7 while you are enduring this kind of a co-creative energy, this kind of relational energy, right? This is typically representative of 2 individuals that are either connected or sharing similarities or mutual interest as it relates to certain hindering aspects of ourselves, right? Let me give you an example of that. If you are someone that likes to get high all the time and you find a codependent person or you become codependent with this other person, right? And you do this together all the time. That's an example of 77 energy. Do you get the idea? But this could also be a toxic connection, just in a general regard. Let's say if it's a romantic connection and this does not help you grow, it actually hinders you. That's another example of 77. But on the brighter side of 7, right, it is not a giddy number, but it is also transformative, which that transformative power is typically required right before a level up, right? Does that make sense? Because you have to be able to release certain energies in order to elevate. That is the metaphysics behind it. So this is why inner work, tapping into self, paying attention to your own negativity and freeing yourself from those energies, right, is always what precedes a better chapter. So another example of 77 energy could be someone that takes a chance on you, gives you that open door, that open gate that's needed for you to make a transition in life, to transform a certain aspect of your life in order to achieve a higher state of serenity so you can focus inward, because we are talking about 7 and 7 totaling 14, the number of what? A being navigating the realm of 4 to better gain awareness or better achieve the resonance of the realm of 5. So you are going to gain insight from this connection. You are going to grow. You are going to learn, right? You are going to be introspective and pay attention to yourself and pay attention to others. 88. This is balanced. This is restorative. This is divine. This is true creational energy. Okay. We have 8, 8, Realm of 8 totaling 16. It's not easy, but you have to have mastered your lessons in the realm of 7, because 8 and 8 total 16, 1 and 6 total 7. We're talking about a powerhouse situation here. We're talking about beings who have done the work. We're talking about you've earned this connection. We're talking about you have manifested this connection. You have aligned with this connection. This can be a restorative situation. So I often talk about the realm of 8 as it relates to reparation, bloodlines, past lives, things coming full circle, and you manifesting and harvesting what's truly owed to you. And typically they can, but typically blessings don't just fall out of the sky, right? They come by way of others. Okay, so we're talking about a connection that's balanced, that's soothing, that's healthy. In more ways than one. This can be romantic, this can be business, this can be friendship, this can simply be someone granting you something, wish fulfillment, right? But this is something that's justified in the eyes of spirit. This is something that you are owed in the eyes of spirit. This is the universe giving you what you deserve. There is a dark side to this, though, because of the fact that 8 is also the realm of what? Justice. This could also be a relationship that is bestowing you with certain karmic energies that you're harvesting now, because the things are seeds planted by a less evolved version of you. But even if we're talking about that more difficult aspect of this number, once the storm passes, if you've honed your resilience enough to withstand it in a balanced manner, in a graceful manner, you will love the other side. Now, in closing, my loves, let's talk about 99. 99 can be a couple of things, right? But what we're essentially talking about is a co-creative, relational, interpersonal energy as it relates to endings, new beginnings, releasing, right? An example of this could be the one that finally comes along after many moons of heartbreak, the one that treats you right, okay? Another example of this could be, like I said in my previous video, the midwife or the doctor that helps you during childbirth. This could also be the vet who euthanizes your pet. That is a co-creative energy as it relates to an ending. Okay, but we're talking about totaling 18 here. We're talking about balance. A being navigating the realm of balance, justice, right, in order to achieve the resonance of 9. Okay, so this is the releasing in a balanced manner. This is the new beginning in a balanced manner. But what might not always make sense to people is that it's also in a justified manner. So even if something doesn't seem balanced, in the realm of spirit, it always is. You might be having to experience something you don't understand and you don't see it or perceive as balanced. But the way the universe works, the way energies work, it's balancing itself. Something has been done previously in a previous lifetime. Your spirit, this is the karma of your spirit you're enduring, right? But it's always gaining balance. Okay. So another example of this energy could be, I say this before, but narcissists who ghost you and things like that. There is a balance taking place there because it's associated with an ending, a new beginning, right? It helps you grow. It helps you better understand and gain your own inner balance if you do the work. Always do the work, you guys. Always pay attention to the beauty of numbers. I hope this provided clarification. Have a great day.